Why is Avalanche blockchain soaring higher and higher? Well, one reason could be how fast Avalanche blockchain is when compared to Ethereum. Developers claim it can settle transactions in less than a second, which will be the first in the industry. Please note, this speed is measured by time to finality. It also has the most validators of any proof of stake protocol. Now you may ask, what more would you want from a blockchain solution? But before you FOMO on this one, let's dive a little deeper and understand what's on the table. So without further ado, let's get started. The Avalanche network attempts to improve scalability without compromising on decentralization. 3 blockchains make up its mainnet: the X chain, the C chain, and the P chain. The X chain is used for managing assets and uses the Avalanche consensus protocol. The C chain is for smart contracts creation and the P chain for coordinating validators. The Avalanche consensus protocol has all the nodes working in parallel to check other validators' transactions confirmations randomly. After enough repeated random subsampling, a transaction is probabilistically determined to be true. This improves transaction throughput to 6,500 transactions per second and provides a sub 1 second finality time. Avalanche also allows for the creation of customized interoperable blockchains. There's no limit on the number, but you need to pay a subscription fee to operate one in Avalanche's native token AVAX. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Avalanche blockchain. Avalanche blockchain was launched in September 2020 by AVA Labs team in the US. The 3-person team behind AVAX Lab consists of Kevin Seknicki, Maofan Ted Yin, and Emin Quans Cyril. Apologies if I pronounce these names incorrectly. AVA Labs raised $6 million in their financing round and followed this with private and public token sales totaling to $48 million. Let's talk about the problems that Avalanche blockchain solves. The first one is scalability. Avalanche tries to achieve scalability without compromising on the decentralization. If you remember from one of our earlier video where we talked about the trilemma, that is security, scalability, and decentralization. So Avalanche solves the problem of scalability through a unique approach about which we will talk in a few seconds. Bitcoin is a good example of this issue with scalability, where it takes hours and sometimes days to process a transaction. The second issue is high fees. If you are not new to crypto world, you would have heard enough about Ethereum gas fees and how it's getting on nerves of a lot of users. At certain points, simple transfers cost more than $10 and complex smart contract interactions are even more expensive. The third problem that it solves is interoperability. Some businesses don't want to use Ethereum blockchain directly. Avalanche offers its solution to the problem with subnets and custom blockchains that share the network's speed, security, and compatibility. So how does Avalanche works? To begin, Avalanche is actually made up of 3 interoperable blockchains: the X chain, C chain, and P chain. Let's dive a little deeper into these chains. The first one is X chain. AVAX tokens and other digital assets are created and exchanged on this chain. These assets, like Ethereum's token standards, contain customizable rules that control their behavior. The Avalanche consensus protocol is used on the blockchain and transaction fees are paid in AVAX. The second is C chain. Developers can create smart contracts for dApps on the C chain. The Ethereum virtual machine is implemented on this chain, allowing coders to fork over EVM compatible dApps. It employs Snowman, a modified version of the Avalanche consensus protocol. The third is the P chain. This chain connects network validators, keeps track of active subnets, and allows new subnets to be created. Subnets are a group of validators that help bespoke blockchains reach consensus. Only one subnet can validate a blockchain, but each subnet can validate many blockchains. The Snowman consensus protocol is also used by the P chain. With each blockchain taking on different roles, Avalanche improves speed and scalability compared to running all processes on just one chain. How does Avalanche consensus mechanism work? An important point to note here, the Avalanche consensus protocol does not need a leader to reach consensus like proof of work, proof of stake, or delegated proof of stake. Avalanche uses all nodes to process and validate transactions by implementing a directed acyclic graph, DAG, optimized consensus protocol. DAG allows the network to process transactions in parallel. Validators randomly poll other validators to determine whether a new transaction is valid. After a certain number of this repeated random subsampling, it's statistically proven that it would be almost impossible for a transaction to be false. All transactions are finalized immediately without other confirmations needed. AVAX is Avalanche native token with a capped supply of 720 million. All fees paid on the network are burned as a deflationary mechanism. The token has three main uses. The first one, you can stake your AVAX to become a validator or delegate it behind a validator. Validators can earn up to 11% APY and set a custom percentage fee of the reward they keep from delegators who back them. AVAX serves as the common unit of account for all subnets, improving interoperability. Transaction fees and subnet subscriptions are payable in AVAX. The hardware requirements are low enough that most standard laptops or desktops should be suitable to begin validating. You can earn rewards by becoming a validator or by staking tokens with a validator. Becoming a validator requires staking 2000 AVAX. Where and how you can buy AVAX? The Avalanche token AVAX is available for purchase and trade on a wide variety of exchange platforms, including Binance, OKX, Bitfinex, QB Global, CoinEx, Paribu, WazirX, OKCoin, and Hotbit. Avalanche is new, but it is already making waves. As a result, a slew of new improvements and product releases are planned for the near future. One of the main developments is the upcoming Apricot upgrade, which will bring a range of improvements to Avalanche. They include verifiable pruning, which allows nodes to go online in a fraction of the time, a freeze and unfreeze function for token issuers, and native ERC20 support. There is currently no estimated release date for the Apricot upgrade though. Beyond this, Layer 2 decentralized exchange platform called Injective Protocol will be integrating with Avalanche to bring a diverse array of interoperable derivatives to the platform. Further on the horizon, there are plans to add a privacy-oriented virtual machine, privacy VM, which will eventually allow for private smart contracts on Avalanche, one of the most significant upgrades on the roadmap. So with that, we'll be ending our video. Let us know in the comments about your thoughts on Avalanche blockchain. Like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.